Hey there, it's Alex, and today I'm back with another episode. Today, we're starting on Chapter 5 of Lunar Academy's Illustrating Creatures course. Now, in this lesson's first part, we're tasked to create a few warm-up sketches of what you think you'll need to practice before your final class illustration. So here, we're starting off with some crocodile studies. My goal, honestly, is just to get more out of my comfort zone and try to figure out how exactly to sketch scales and convey the feeling of their texture without heavily relying on and defining every single scale or armor plating, as we're demonstrating here. Now, if you're a little confused context-wise, I've actually covered the beginnings of this study series more in depth over in my last video, Studying Lizards. So feel free to give it a watch if you'd like. These videos are not chronologically orderly dependent, just a fun way for me to tackle and track my progress working through the art class backlog I have. In a way, for me, it's kind of like a video game library, a backlog on Steam of a broad collection of levels or classes in our case that looked fun to me, but never got the time put into it for practice, experimenting, and reviewing them. Now here, I did scatterbrain a little bit and jumped into a different sketch for another idea I had on the spot. This is a character page for a dragonborn paladin, who under unfortunate circumstances finds himself shrunken, or in the game's title words, dwillowed, to roughly the size of a mouse, while progressing through the dungeon. The core concept is taking a player who is just about fully prepped for a final boss fight, but in the last moments, flipping the game upside down, as you fall through the cracks in the floor to level 0. Now, as you shrink, you find that you can no longer use or wear your equipment that you acquired of the overpowered gear that you needed to defeat the boss, and now have to learn how to use your new dwindled state of abilities to climb the spire through your pre-completed dungeon levels, or through the vast new levels of underground mechanical inner workings of rooms and traps as the level shifts and repairs itself, resetting and shuffling for the next adventurer. Anyways, back on track. I didn't want to limit my studies to just crocodiles, so I threw in some imaginative prehistoric studies of sort of T-Rex legs and how that would work, and also a pair of dragon arms, and trying to kind of understand how it would work to support itself and base stuff off of that, using what we've already studied from other creatures. Now, I was struggling a bit to try and think of any other limbs or parts of dragons I would need to study in preparation for the classes and illustration demo lessons. They did leave this section pretty open in the homework department, and what they were looking for you to provide back. Now with that finished, I moved on to my favorite drawing out of the sketches, being the crocodile head study. I think this one turned out pretty cool, and I like how I implied the scale texturing. With that finished, I did try to do one more sketch for the page, breaking down the types of scales on a crocodile, from its back armor plating to its softer underbelly, and then lastly to its armored spike notches on its arms. But was soon interrupted by my computer deciding to go on the fritz, and this in turn resulted in a whole week wasted and spent troubleshooting and trying to fix and solve the problem. Yeah, that wasn't a very fun process, and I might make a video covering it, or I might not. I don't know. I just don't have the time at the moment, as we've lost a week of prep work for the class due to this unfortunate little graphics card problem that took me forever to troubleshoot and figure out. So that was fun. Anyways, with that said, as we start coming to a close, I thought I'd share the thumbnail rendering process for our reptile sketches, as I thought it turned out pretty cool. And also the extra scale texturing, patterning experimentation is always welcome in my book. With that said, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode, which might come out very soon, or most likely next month, after the Drawing Dragons mentorship class wraps up.